my fellow colleagues, council and administrative staff. My name is Michael Kozakowski, Newcastle County Recorder of Deeds. But before I begin with the introductions and show you the highlights to the Community Association portal, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize my CAP team, project manager, Mike Konicki. Unfortunately, Mr. Konicki could not be with us today due to a prior business commitment. His number two as project coordinator and analyst, Adrian Thompson, deputy CAO, Ken Dunn, my chief deputy, Tom Ferrier, my office administrator, Lisa Shellum, my other office administrator, Ed Dale, my confidential secretary, Cherie Cole, and of course, the state of Delaware Deputy Attorney General Ombudsman Chris Curtin, and of course, my ROD vendor, Document Technology Systems, Richard Lopsher. I'd like to tell you how proud I am of the hard work and dedication that all of you have contributed to the success of the portal for the betterment of our community. At this time, I'd like to say a few words about my project coordinator. Adrian Thompson has been with Newcastle County government since March of 2019 as a senior business analyst for our information systems department. Her previous years of experience in the information technology industry has provided many positive outcomes in the private sector. Her involvement in the Community Association Portal project has paid significant dividends for the HOAs, the CICs, and civic associations throughout time and for future generations to come. She has played a pivotal role in the overall design, content, and concept of the CAP portal. Her expert guidance has transformed the CAP project from concept to business case to request for proposal, installation to project launch. With no further ado, I'd like to give you our project coordinator, Adrian Thompson.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome, Adrian.
Well, welcome everybody. Mike asked me to explain how this vision became a reality, so I'm going to explain that to you all. Well, in the beginning, the vision was really well articulated, and the project already had a lot of momentum before I got involved. I received an email from Mike Konicki a year before our project start that was dated from 2016. It came from Kent County and included a lot of email addresses from the state and from Kent, and of course, Recorder of Deeds at Newcastle County. So our project kickoff was summer of 22, and Mike said he wanted a document search tool for HOA governing documents, and he wanted a web page with contacts and resource links. And he said he wanted one-stop shopping for all types of community associations, plus it was going to be free. So that was a great starting point. Mike explained that he already had a fully functioning document search tool that we could clone for a subset of doc types. And he explained that Kent County already built a public HOA portal for governing documents that included resources and contacts that we could model after as a starting point. So with all that information, the vision was already taking shape, and the project became a straw man project where we needed to agree on things, address the straw man, and stand it up. So we established weekly meetings to talk about scope, objectives, goals, and to get a consensus on things, and also to separate responsibilities across the document search tool, the application, and the contacts that we wanted to share. So we had a lot of definitions and concepts to define. We clarified the scope of the doc types, the various types of governing documents, and their varying names. A lot of different types of community associations that record governing documents, and we needed to take an inventory of all the URLs that Kent had, which were all broken at the time that we went to look at them. So we refreshed all that and got an agreement on what we wanted to accomplish. And then we set about expanding our team and going after testing of the application. So to get more perspectives and knowledge, Mike brought in Chris Curtin, who was invaluable to help us navigate the CIC HOA terminology. And he steered us to rebrand from HOA to a CAP portal. So community associations were covering all of the types of associations that are going to use the portal. So we had that, and Kenny brought in Michelle Davis and Marie Scarpa to add their perspectives and knowledge for the webpage design and to also help with the user testing. So last October, we tested the document search functions, and we made change requests that we retested in January, and then we fine-tuned this past summer. And we also developed the CAP homepage to blend that in with the Civic Plus design. We added a lookup for maintenance corporations and the new community hub graphic that's in the quick links bar. So we all came together just recently. So I would say the vision came to reality from a lot of persistence, patience, and a really great collaborative team.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you very much. Very detailed, very specific. And once again, as always, you're the glue that kept this project moving forward. And just let you know how much I do appreciate all the work that you put in. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
Thank you very much. The next person that I was going to say a few words is someone we all know. Christopher Curtin is a Deputy Attorney General in the Delaware Department of Justice's Fraud and Consumer Fraud Division. Chris is the first Common Interest Community Ombudsman appointed when the office was created in 2014. The office assists members of residential common interest communities such as condominiums, cooperatives, and planned residential subdivisions to understand their rights and responsibilities and the processes available to them to resolve internal disputes. A lifelong resident of Delaware, Chris attended the University of Virginia, where he received a BA in economics before attending New York Law School, where he obtained his JD and clerked in the New York Attorney General Securities Bureau. Chris first served in the Delaware Department of Justice, where he was the first person appointed to represent the Division of Consumer Affairs full-time. He was later appointed the first deputy in charge, Economic Crime and Consumer Rights Division, before leaving for private practice. He returned to the Department of Justice after a career in private practice, handling cases in consumer protection, consumer fraud, civil litigation, and investigating local government and corporate ethics complaints. In 2013, Delaware Today magazine featured Chris as Delaware's top lawyer in consumer protection based upon peer review, the first time that category was recognized. Chris resides in Newcastle County. But before I have Chris say a few words, I just want to let you know that Chris and I have been working together since the inception of the Common Interest Community 360 Action Plan, where, of course, Council back in, I guess it was April of 2016, I requested an ordinance to create the Common Interest Community 360 Action Plan that would give these organizations the opportunity to record their governing document at no cost. And of course, in October of 2016, Council had passed the second ordinance, which completed the legislative portion of the Common Interest Community 360 Action Plan, and that was to build a portal to give these organizations and viewers the opportunity to access all this pertinent information at no cost. And also, when it comes to these organizations functioning and following the requirements, and of course, according to the Delaware Code. All roads lead through the Ombudsman. Chris Curtin. Chris.
I've been very pleased to work with this outstanding team on this outstanding project. Mike's right. We've been working together on various projects, including the 360 plan for some time, but I've also been delighted by his creativity and inclusion of me in the process of creating other projects. For example, the free redaction of illegal, offensive, and repugnant deed restrictions that his legislation allows all the recorders of deeds to do in Delaware. The concept has been picked up nationwide, but none of the programs are as easy and free as the one that Mike devised, and with my slight assistance on a couple of legal research projects. But this project is a direct complement to the work that I do. As Mike said, that one of the key roles of the Ombudsman is to provide dispute resolution. And I learned early on that getting people in common interest communities, which are condominiums, cooperatives, and planned unit developments, to resolve a dispute is to read their governing documents. So our process requires, and our process is a statutorily required process, requires people to use an internal dispute resolution process first, in which they have to cite and quote their governing documents. Because we learned early on that when two disputing parties in a homeowners association disagree about something, if they're both looking at the exact same language, one of them is likely to realize that they're wrong, and that allows it to be resolved informally. We also developed a model first step, as we call it, meet and confer, where instead of a mini trial before the entire board, an appointed member of the association board meets informally with the complainant. I recommend at a coffee shop over coffee, so the shouting stays to a minimum, and discussing it calmly. And we've found, just anecdotally, that about 90% of the issues are resolved by using this process. But it can be elevated with if there's no agreement or no cooperation. And my office does, the first thing it does is require copies of the governing documents. So the governing documents are key to dispute resolution in common interest community disputes. And this process builds on what Kent County started and surpasses it. And now Kent County is having problems with its council on getting permissions and fundings to go not nearly as far as Mike has brought this county. And Sussex County is way behind both of them. But I'm really pleased to be involved with all of Mike's projects on behalf of people living in community associations of all types, including civic associations, as well as common interest communities.
Well, thank you, Chris. And I tell you, it's been my pleasure working with you. Of course, when it comes to, creating these positive outcomes for our community, and of course, seeing it to fruition, and then seeing results.
And it's been my pleasure to work with you, Mike.
Thank you. Well, my fellow colleagues, we created the Portal Dynamics, utilizing video and a how-to user guide that provides our community associations, property owners, and interested viewers the opportunity to access relative portal links, governing, and miscellaneous documents. As you know, the launching of the Community Association Portal completes my Common Interest Community 360 Action Plan, and this plan would not have reached fruition if it wasn't for the proactive leadership and mindset that exists in our legislative and executive branch of our county government. By working together, we, council, administration, and of course your ROD, have given our county community associations and property owners an important resource and a positive direction so they can record their governing documents for free and provide them with complete access to view, print, and email these specific documents at no cost. At this time, we're going to present to you your CAP portal featuring the 2 informational videos and the user guide that you have received so you can utilize the guide as a reference when needed. The first video is all about the portal.
I'm Newcastle County Executive Matt Meyer, proud to announce a new portal, a community-oriented portal designed to provide transparency to you around the rules, restrictions, and regulations governing you and your community. The Community Association Program Portal is expected to reduce disputes between community associations and their members by providing available resources, including recorded governing documents, in a central online location. This effectively creates a standard practice for community self-governing, reducing the workload tied to problems the county simply is not authorized to mediate.
There was a backlog from state legislators, senators, representatives, their assistants, of homeowner complaints. Homeowners were clamoring for some assistance at getting these disputes resolved without having to go to an expensive court proceeding.
The value of that for homeowners is they can get these documents for free. So if there's a dispute about anything about bylaws or rules for their communities, they will be able to access that. The benefits for the common interest communities is they can continuously update their documents and they'll be able to do it free of charge. So that they won't have that restriction of having to put that into their budget or budgeting for that.
We decided to create the CAP portal because it completes the 360 action plan. The first 180 is giving the communities the opportunity to record their governing documents for free. And of course, the second part is the 180 is to have a portal that where the viewer and communities will have access, not only to view these governing documents, but also they'll have the opportunity to look at these other links that the local government wants to provide them to assist them in their search for information.
Well, you learn pretty quickly in my job in a democracy that I, as county executive, Mr. Kozakowski, as the recorder of deeds, even Governor Carney as the governor, President Biden as the president, can't solve every problem facing Americans, facing Delawareans, facing residents of our county. Much of what we do is we empower the people of our county, the residents, the citizens, to solve problems themselves.
Actually, I think it may actually reduce demand on us because often the first contact I have is, I want to file a complaint, how do I do it? Tell me about the complaint. Oh, you need to take a look at your governing documents. Send me a copy of your deed restriction that says A, B, and C. And I think making the deed restrictions more available, it's going to get to the core of the dispute sooner.
It's going to benefit the common interest communities. Number one, it's free. Number two, they're going to have the consistency of recording their governing documents. By recording it for free, that means that every time they make an amended change, they'll be able to record their governing documents in the Recorder of Deeds office. So this way, you're generating a strong paper trail, and you're also giving that strong paper trail for future generations to view.
The value of transparency in government, it keeps all relevant information current. It makes it available to the citizens of the county. They'll be able to access their documents. It prevents fraud because everything is made public. It helps people with historical searches and being able to access documents that they may have and answer questions that they may have about property history or any information about a current neighborhood that they're in.
Create one-stop shopping, so there will be various links. The CAP portal includes links to a range of online sites that provide important information and resources for Newcastle County homeowners.
We're very grateful to Recorder of Deeds Michael Kozakowski for creating this community association portal. Now you, the resident of Newcastle County, can simply go to this site and very quickly find out the rules, regulations, restrictions on your property, on your neighborhood. It's very, very important in resolving basic community disputes, neighborhood disputes, and also enabling neighborhood leaders to take actions to serve their own communities.
This partnership was created under the leadership of our county executive, Matt Meyer, working with Deputy Attorney General Ombudsman Christopher Curtin. We were able to get ahead and create the dynamics of your Common Interest Community 360 Action Plan, which provides you with the opportunity to record your governing documents for free, but also now you will have access to all these governing documents at no cost.
Homeownership. It's more than just a place to hang your hat. It's a community. It's about being part of something bigger. Every neighborhood is a community. The CAP allows all types of community associations, common interest communities, and civic associations to access their governing documents, which legally define the covenants and restrictions that apply to all members of the community. But what is a common interest community?
It's comprised of condominiums, cooperatives, and planned unit developments, which are commonly referred to as homeowners associations. They all have a couple of things in common. They're all created by a declaration. They all bind every member of the community to the same rules and regulations. It's mandatory to be in the association, and it's also mandatory to pay assessments on an annual basis for the benefit of the community.
Many types of communities include groups of people living in private residences within a shared, legally defined communal area. As residents of the same community, they have interests in common, but they may not always agree on how their interests are best served. Disputes about what can and cannot be done by individual property owners in all types of communities can be moved toward resolution by referring to the community's governing documents. That's why governing documents are so important to residents.
Governing documents give structure to the community association. They give details about how to run the association, such as conducting elections of officers, appointing or electing of directors, when meetings are scheduled, how they are given notice, how often they have to be, how many people can be on the governing board of directors. All of these things are law created by either the Kiowa or by the governing documents.
The Community Association Portal serves communities of all types by providing free access and free recording of the governing documents that establish the rules for each community.
The Community Association Portal is easy to use. Let me show you how it works.
From the Community Association Portal webpage, click on the first item in the left side menu, Community Association Document Search, to launch the portal welcome page. After reading the disclaimer statement, scroll down and click on the green disclaimer button to access the Community Association Document Search application. The main landing page provides 3 ways to search for recorded documents, and the default name search screen is recommended to find Community Association governing documents. Using name search, you simply enter the Community Association name in the top name field, change the Party Radio button to first, and click Summary Search. To demonstrate finding governing documents, let's enter a relatively new HOA, Calvarisi Farms. The search results listing shows all recorded documents matching Calvarisi Farms. The column headers along the top show the document attributes, and all columns can be sorted by clicking on the up-down arrows. To view a document, double-click the line item. The first document listed is the bylaws of the Calvarisi Farm Maintenance Corporation. Documents can be expanded for easier viewing. They can also be printed, emailed, or downloaded and saved. Select the X in the upper right corner to close the bylaws and look for other governing documents. We recommend sorting the Instrument ID column to list the documents chronologically if you're looking for original subdivision plans, also known as plat plans. You can also sort the instrument type field to find subdivision plans which illustrate the community map and show the precise location of each lot or unit, common areas, limited common areas, and more. The plan may also provide names or other information that can be used to conduct additional searches.
This gives tons of notes that is important to know for various things in a common interest community, like who's responsible for the roads, what kind of sewage it has, what aspects are common areas that need maintenance by the community association, and things like sometimes you'll see details about what is a limited common area for each of these properties.
Let's look at one final Calvarisi Farms document, the Maintenance Declaration, which provides a list of the deed restrictions. This is a miscellaneous real estate document type assigned to Parkway Gravel Incorporated.
And of the recorded documents, this is the second most important document. The Maintenance Declaration is the declaration of deed restrictions. It's created by the developer before the first property is sold. In fact, before ground was broken, I think this was recorded. And it says that the declarant is going to impose upon the lands and itself to bind its successors and assigns to certain covenants and agreements.
Searching for governing documents on the CAP portal is intuitive, but sometimes there are hundreds of matching documents. For more tips on how to find the governing documents you need, please refer to the Document Search User Guide, available from the Community Association webpage.
Remember, the CAP portal is more than a tool. It is your gateway to a well-informed, well-connected community experience. As we close this video, I want to thank you for watching and welcome to your Newcastle County Community Association portal.
So you received the user guide. I know that my confidential secretary, Sheree Cole, sent you a PDF of the guide if you hadn't had the opportunity to walk through the step-by-step, and also there's questions and answers. And at this time, I will take on any questions that you like to present.
Hey, Michael, this is Councilman Tackett. I just want to commend you and Chris, the staff, Sheree, everybody that, had a part in making this happen. It's absolutely, probably one of the most vital resources that we're going to be able to add to the, options in a community toolbox that they're now going to be able to utilize. But quick question. So the documents in the portal, are you uploading them from your office, or will the communities have to do that themselves?
So please repeat that, Councilman.
Sorry about that. So the documents in the portal, will your office be uploading them there, or will the communities have to do that themselves?
They would, just like any recording of our documents, they would have to be submitted. And then, of course, we're not using e-recording, are we?
Well, probably not.
No, we haven't considered e-recording yet, so where they'd be able to, but they would have to use one of our approved vendors to e-record. So the normal process would be they can walk the documents, mail them, or of course the other option, which is not available, would be electronic recording.
But if your question is how do they access them, there's a link to a section of the database of the Recorder Deeds Office, so they don't have to download the whole Recorder Deeds Office. They can just select through the link the name of their community and get the documents that way.
Yeah, correct, Chris. So yeah, I was wondering, so a community member may have a question about a deed restriction. Well, the only way the portal will be valuable to them is if their community had uploaded their deed restrictions. So what I was wondering was your office going to go through each community and upload the documents? But sounds like the community is going to need to do that themselves in order to make this work. Okay, gotcha. Thanks.
Yes, and of course, according to Delaware Code, your maintenance corporations and condominium associations and others have to record their governing documents and any amended changes, where, of course, civic associations do not. But with having council and the administration have the 360 action plan come to fruition, now they're able to get ahead and do this, not having to worry about costs on either end. Which why wouldn't you want to record your governing documents for not only for your future boards, but also for future property owners?
Yeah, Mike, this is Adrian. I'd like to also add that all the participants in the audience can find on the Community Association homepage, there are links there, and one of them is a resource that's called Best Practices for Recording Your Governing Documents. So I would refer to that and the other resources there.
Yes, Adrian, also, I think it's referenced about information on how you take care of bullies.
Yes,
which is
there's
very, very
frequently asked
informative.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Community
And there's
bullies.
there are
Mhm.
links to the Recorder of Deeds site around community associations. So if you have a redaction request to correct some inappropriate language, you'll find that there. You'll also see that there's instructions that will allow you to record those redacted document requests without going through the full process of that's outlined in your bylaws. You can bypass that and have a fast track to update your recorded your governing documents. So there are a lot of good hints on how to improve your community self-governing within the links of the homepage.
Thank you, Adrian. Any other questions? Well, I want to thank all of you for attending the presentation and looking forward to not only the type of feedback and results that we get from the community in utilizing the portal. Thank you all, and looking forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Great job.